My husband's co-worker couldn't think of the word cow a few years ago and instead called them wild beef. This comment spawned the Reddit wild beef, a place for those names that you give things when you've forgotten their actual names. Horse tornado if you can't think what a carousel is called, for instance. Or tree wrapping if you can't remember the name for bark. These are all well and good, but I prefer catching my wild beef free range, so, as ever, I looked to Twitter, which did have quite a lot of these, so, to stop this video going on too long, I'm simply going to read them out until we hit a skull emoji. And that is where this video will end. Enjoy. Forgot the name for paperback, so I said flaccid book. Someone sedate me. Forgot what a forearm was called, and all I could come up with was arm calf. Couldn't remember what Breaking Bad was called a while ago, so instead just blurted out Walter's World. Sam just forgot the name for an analog stick and called it a movement wiggler. Forgot what a baguette was called. I'm gonna buy a bread. Long. Couldn't remember the word for dairy, so I called it a cow brewery. Forgot what a cow was called, so I called it a milk moose. I forgot the name for a double bass, so instead my brain gave me mega violin. I forgot the name for donuts once and asked for a sexy bagel. One of the guys I used to work with forgot the name for a tape measure, called a how far machine. Couldn't remember the name for a cappella, so I just called it singing raw, shaking my head. Martin couldn't remember what a nightstand was called, so he called it a side island. Sir, a what? My partner forgot the name for Hogwarts and instead called it Dumbledore's University Castle. Forgot the name for ink and called it pen sauce. Evan forgot the name for aluminum foil and called it floppy metal paper. I've been feeling so out of it these days that I forgot what a beanbag was called and had to Google chair that is a sack. Momentarily forgot the name for a watering can and called it the rain bucket. Forgot the name for rafters, so I called them the house roll bars. I forgot what a drill was called instead of fucking screwdriver gun. Facepalm, Just forgot the name for brothers, younger boy children. My husband was trying to talk about Shrek, but he couldn't remember Shrek's name. Shrek, thanks. So he called him Summertime Grinch. Last night, I forgot the name for peacock and spiraled. Beautiful bird, male show-off bird. Beautiful bird show-off? Pheasant? I just forgot the name for Beanie Babies, and all I could come up with was Ellie Beans. Once called Deal or No Deal, have I got a box? Mum forgot the name for Greaser and just called them Italian Slicky Boys. I once forgot the name for a urinal when trying to tell a staff member in the restaurant I was in that theirs was overflowing. I called it a peapot. Totally forgot the name for an airport today and called it the plane station. Just kick me out of uni. Help, my dad forgot the name for bread, so he said raw toast. I got really high last night and forgot the name for toast, so I kept calling it crunchy bread. I forgot it was called prostate exam. At the ass doctor. Forgot the word for accent, so I called it a voice font. I forgot the name for shot glass and instead said, where's my little beaker? I forgot the name for leaves, so I confidently called them fall flowers. Fucking forgot what a pregnancy test was called and called it a birth detector. Forgot the name for ground beef the other day, so I just called it meat crumble. Couldn't remember the name for I Spy, so I called it do you see what I see? My grandma forgot the name for raccoons and described them as the robber animal. You know, bandits of the woods. Fiona and I couldn't remember the name for Mount Rushmore. Big American heads? I couldn't remember what a sweet tooth was called and I said sugar bone. My friend forgot the name for seahorses and called them dragon shrimp. Stephanie Cortez MD forgot the name for the Grand Canyon during an interview, so said the place in Arizona with a hole in the ground. Today I forgot what a facepalm was called. What is it called when you hit your forehead? The most common type of head injury is a concussion. Couldn't remember the name for churros and had to Google Mexican sugar-coated tubes. I forgot the name for seasonal affective disorder and called it the night crazies. I forgot the name for mimosa, so I Googled white woman brunch drink and found it. My BF forgot the name for a macaroon and called it a fruit pancake hamburger. Skull emoji.